What up? It's your boy Royal Ray, Dope at the Drugs podcast. So yo, I spent like 2 days, I broke it up into 2 days watching the King Von documentary. I guess it's like produced by, some white dude, Trap Lord Ross or some shit. I don't know, I never heard of him before, but apparently he's a big YouTuber. He got like almost 1 million subscribers or whatever. But so I peeped it, like I said, over the course of 2 days. And man, I got a lot of different feelings about this shit. The first thing, like, if you haven't watched it yet, I definitely think you should. It was pretty well put together. The homie's whole thesis behind it was he used a lot of King Von's, tweets. That's what this dude, Trap Lord Ross, based his thesis of King Von being a quote-unquote serial killer on the fact that King Von did a lot of self-snitching on his Twitter account. So, he broke down when each murder occurred, where they occurred, all of that type of shit. And, it do appear from King Von's Twitter account and his tweets within minutes of most of these murders that occurred in Chicago, on the south side where King Von is from, Little Durk, Chief Keef, so forth. It do appear that a lot of these murders, King Von tweeted some shit within minutes of the person getting marked. And aside from this documentary, the Chicago police have came out and said that he was the main suspect in multiple murders, that they knew he did multiple murders, et cetera, et cetera. They couldn't really pin the charges against him when he was alive. Witnesses would come forth and, so on and so on. But they, after his demise, now they trying to pin, multiple bodies on him and shit. So, that's aside from this documentary. But yeah, so, the dude goes on to show the timeline of all of these different murders. And then he also shows, King Von's tweets. And I will say it's it's pretty ironic, you know what I'm saying? And even the nature of King Von's tweets, like, that's all he was talking about was catching bodies, putting in work, drilling shit. So it definitely do appear like he really was on demon time. And unfortunately, that led to his untimely demise. He suffered the same fate as a lot of the victims. But shit, man, like, when I'm watching it, I'm just like thinking about my life. And, of course, Chicago's like 10 times worse than my hood. You know what I'm saying? It's 10 times worse than most hoods in America. But nevertheless, there's common denominators in every hood in America. It don't matter what city or state, like, it go down. Like, there's gang shit, there's homicides, there's drug dealing, there's, all the same elements in every hood in America. And I know because I've been all over the country. Some places you would never even think there was hoods, but yeah, it's trenches everywhere you go. But anyway, getting back to the King Von shit, and like, so the director or whatever, he pointed out the fact that in 2011, O.D. Perry died. It was King Von's man who they end up naming O Block after. I guess he was like a real prominent figure in this section. So they end up naming, that particular hood O Block in honor of O.D. Perry. That came a few months after Tuka got killed. You know what I'm saying? Tuka was from the other side. And so, they were GDs. King Von and Durk and them is B. And I'm sure, most of y'all already know this, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying for anybody who don't, just giving you like a quick little backdrop to the whole story and the thesis of the documentary. But anyway, so yeah, Tuka got done. You know what I'm saying? He got marked. And then a couple months later, O.D. Perry got killed. So that was one of like the main things that kind of led King Von and his crew to, really, get active in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that they, wasn't in the shit before, but, you know, the director is basically saying that that's one of the things that really pushed him over the head and really had him on Demon Time. Him, V. Roy, all of them. But, with all that being said, I was thinking about my life, and growing up, I was more on my hustling. I was in the streets heavy, but my main objective and goal was to get to the bag. So I was trapping at an early age, 13, 14 years old. And growing up, like, we had burners around us, we had blicks and shit, but me and my crew, we was more focused on getting to the bag. We wasn't on no gangbanging shit per se. We was a little crew. We definitely would handle business if, you violated us. You know what I'm saying? We stuck together and we held each other down and, shit like that. But our main objective wasn't gangbanging. We was more focused on getting to the bag. However, I know myself, like, how I changed that, that motherfucking light switch when a couple of my day one got murked. That shit really, really, really had a deep impact on me personally. Just that quickly, I went from being focused on being a hustler in these streets to wanting to drill shit. And I wanted to, I wanted to get some get back. And so me knowing how I felt at that time, and I was like I said, growing up, I was mostly focused on getting fly, getting fresh, getting women, getting to the bag, all of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I was doing gangster shit, but I wasn't on no gang banging shit. And but by the grace of God, I ended up getting locked up. Prior to my right hand getting marked, I had caught, my second blick charge. So I had already went away and did a year in county jail for my first gun charge. And so this is my second gun charge that I caught a couple years later. And so I was like going back and forth to court for like two years prior to my right hand getting killed. So yeah, when he got marked, I literally end up, getting sent upstate. I had to do 3 years, in the state pen for that second burner charge, which I had caught, like I said, I don't know, a year or two before my right hand got killed. I was, going back and forth to court fighting the case. But yeah, man, like, that shit probably saved my life because I know the type of time I was on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted vengeance. You know what I'm saying? Like, point blank. And that's where I was headed on. And, I'm not justifying King Von's actions because they accusing him of murking multiple people, 10, 11, 12 people. And, the dude, Trap Lord Ross or whatever, whoever directed it, he was making it seem like King Von was a psychopath. And, he compared him to fucking Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, he really, at one point of the documentary, compared King Von to Jeffrey Dahmer. If you don't know who Jeffrey Dahmer is, you know what I'm saying, Google him. You know what I'm saying? They just did a movie on Netflix about Jeffrey Dahmer. He used to eat, people alive, like all type of weird, crazy shit. He was on some cannibalistic type shit, but anyway, so certain shit like that, I think is a stretch, but then again, we talking about somebody that's not from the culture. You know what I'm saying? Not only is this dude Caucasian, so he can't even really comprehend the lives of, black and Latino, people here in the slums. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even from America. Um, Never mind the fact that he's Caucasian. So, you know, I mean, it's only so much rap music they could listen to and gangster movies that they could watch, but they could never really truly understand our lives. You know what I'm saying? Our backgrounds, our environments, our upbringing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, shit like that. For him to compare the homie to Jeffrey Dahmer, like shit like that, I just thought was wild. It was a stretch, but some of the other points might have some merit to it. He looked up the dictionary, the definition of a serial killer, and you know, it appears that King Von might, you know, have in fact been involved in multiple murders. So I get the basis of the documentary. Like I said, overall, I think it was pretty well put together. But it's just sad, man. Like, it's sad whether he caught all them bodies or not. The fact that we live in these conditions, man, and it's like perpetual. You kill my right hand, I want to, you know, I want to get at, you know, your brother or your cousin or somebody close to you. And then, you know, the shit just don't stop. It's a never ending cycle. Then you're gonna try to get at, you know, some more my peoples. Then my people's gonna want to get back at your people. A lot of times too, it end up being generational. You know, like in my hood, I know for a fact, like, you know, drama be, you know, 2, 3 generations deep. Our older brothers or our uncles or our fathers be having smoke with certain hoods, certain sections, and you know that shit trickles down to the younger brothers, to the nephews, to the, you know, the sons. You know, the shit never stop, man, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know, I'm from these streets. You know what I'm saying? I lived a real life. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was never heavy on the gang banging shit. Like I ain't do that. You know what I'm saying? In my hood, we didn't have Bloods and Crips or GDs and BDs at the time. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, it was in my hood in Boston. It was like, what particular project you from? You know what I'm saying? What particular street or what hood? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how the gang shit was out here. It wasn't on no Bloods and Crip type shit. You know what I'm saying? It was based on your particular hood, your section. You know what I mean? But like I said, me personally, my whole MO was always to get to the bag. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was running these streets. And yeah, I carry blicks and all that, but it was more on some self-preservation shit. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to protect my life and my assets. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what my mom was on. You know, I had lost, you know, 2 of my cousins got murked, you know, at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Not only was they young, you know, they didn't even reach 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? But I was young too when that happened, so that shit left an impact on me. And then, you know, when I reached my teenage years, I started losing multiple friends to these streets, and you know, seeing shootouts and shit like that. So, you know, I had the militant mind, but like I said, my whole MO was more focused on getting to the bag, getting up out of these circumstances. So I don't know. I feel like this new generation knows like they heavy on this gang shit. I don't even think it's really about the money with them. They more so they want to get their cloud up and shit by putting in work, by being on demon time, by drilling shit. You know what I mean? So it's a different era now. And just seeing King Von and you know everybody he was dealing with, all his people's like, man, it was just like they was going back to back. Bodies was dropping left and right, man, and both sides had crazy amount of casualties. You know what I mean? So many homes and families, you know, lives were shattered. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's real unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? And I feel a certain kind of way about a lot of these Caucasian YouTubers, bloggers, media outlets, radio personalities, record labels, all of that, how they really getting rich off of, you know, exploiting our lives and our trauma and our pain. And it's been going on forever, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, the shit's just sickening to me because they really don't have no idea. Like I said, they could listen to the rap music and they could watch certain movies and all of that type of shit, but they haven't experienced it firsthand. They haven't lived this life. Anyway, man, overall, like I said, I think the documentary was well put together. It's definitely some merit to the shit. King Von possibly could have, caught all of those bodies or been associated with, what I'm saying, the shit going down. Because they said like he put up 100 stacks for FBG Ducks, what I'm saying, demise and all this type of shit. So, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. Um, I'm not from Chicago. I never even stepped foot in Chicago. I'm gonna keep it 100. I've been all over the country. Chicago's one place I haven't been yet. But yeah, man, with that being said, I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't really definitively say King Von did it or not. It do appear from his Twitter, account and the shit that he was tweeting, the times that he was tweeting them, and even his interviews, his music, all of that. Like, it definitely do seem like he was super active in the streets, that he was on Demon Time, that he did put in a lot of work, that he was really drilling shit. Um, and that's a damn shame, man, because he had a lot of talent and he has so much more to offer the world. But a lot of times our environment, our upbringing, I think it said his father had got murked when he was young. That definitely had a big impact on him. Um, his neighborhood, shit was going down 24/7 out there. His man's getting killed. Like, it was several things that led up to him, living a lifestyle that he chose. So. Yeah, man. I think it's sad all the way around, and yeah, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. But with that being said, that's my take on the whole documentary. I know there's a bunch of bloggers, DJ Academics and No Jumper, Adam 22. You know what I mean? Just all of these different bloggers and media outlets are, doing their reactions or giving their 2 cents on the documentary and King Von's life. But, I wanted to get on here and express how the shit made me feel after watching, 3 hours of this shit, you know what I'm saying, over the course of 2 days. And so I watched it front to back, just so I could give y'all my honest opinion, from somebody who lived the street life, who suffered a lot of losses, been to a lot of funerals, you know what I'm saying? Spent time, locked up in a cell, two different bids on 2 different gun cases. You know what I'm saying? I did a year in county for my first gun case, and I did 3 years in the state pen for my second gun case. So, like I said, I wasn't heavy on the gangbanging shit, but I definitely lived a real life, and I've been to a lot of funerals. I lost a lot of people close to me. I know how I felt in the type of, mind frame it put me in, losing people close to me, and the shit that it almost provoked me to do, you know what I'm saying, in retaliation. So I wanted to give my opinion, man. Y'all check it out for yourself, you know, tell me what you think about the documentary. If you already watched it, let me know in the comments, you know what I'm saying, how you felt, what you think about the whole situation. And yeah, man, signing off for now. It's your boy Royal Ray, Doper Than Drugs Podcast. We the motherfucking dopest.